Hi friends, I have another craft for you today. We are going to do retro yarn octopuses. Did you know that's the plural of octopus? It's octopuses. Alright, that's what we're going to do. Remember these from when you were a kid? I love them. That's what we're going to do today. We just need some yarn, not much yarn. You need a piece of cardboard that you can wrap around, or I use this one. I have some paper towels I've just rolled up to make a head. So something stuffing, some scissors, I've got some googly eyes, and I have a glue gun. So we're just gonna start wrapping. You can use whatever you want to do to stuff the head. I'm using paper towels, but you can also use old fabric, scrap yarn, unmatched sock, that would work well. Whatever you have around the house. The eyes, I chose to use googly eyes because somebody gave me a whole bag of those things when they knew I like to do crafts. So I decided to use that. But I have done it before with buttons. That's super cute. And you just slide the buttons on underneath some of the strands, or you can glue them on. And I've seen it with felt. That's cute too. So whatever you happen to have. You know, that's one of our themes with our crafts here, is using what we have. So we're not out and about buying stuff. You're just, what can you do with stuff that you already have at your house? So we have this extra yarn laying around the office, and I just love it. It's so cute. So that's where the green came from too, but you can make whatever color you want. I love green. It's one of my favorite colors. I love earth tones. So I want to see what this variegated would look like. So this piece of cardboard is, this is 12 inches that I'm using at the moment, and that's what made this little guy. This way is 18, and that's what made this bigger one. So if you want to kind of get an idea. So you need enough yarn to go around however many times you want to go around and make your octopus. There's no set amount, so I'm not real sure. I just go for what feels good, or if I run out of yarn, that's a possibility too. And then you need to cut off some extra string. So we need one for the head, to cut off at the head. And then since an octopus has 8 legs, we need to have 8 little strings to tie the legs. So, sorry for the hang up here. My yarn's getting stuck on itself because I'm emptying up a skein. But that's okay. We've got a few minutes, don't we? Just work on this. So my mama taught me how to make these when I was younger. I just love them, and they remind me of her. And she passed on several years ago, so it's just a sweet memory that I have of her. And it's just fun. We can make them for ourselves. I remember them sitting on my bed. I made them. And I also was in 4-H, and I had to do a speech on a how-to speech. And so how to make a yarn octopus. And I'd forgotten all about them. And I was trying to think, what could we do? You know, what more crafts can I teach and we can spend some time together? And I was looking in our storage room at the office. We have so many donated yarns, and I'm like, oh, I need to do something with yarn. And so an earlier craft we did, if you saw it, we did a Valentine wreath out of yarn and paper towel rolls, and we that turned out really cute. So we made a slew of pom-poms. I'm like, what else can I make? And then that memory of my mama popped back into my head. I'm like, oh, I know what I'm gonna make. We're gonna make some yarn octopuses. So I'm almost at the end, so if you will bear with me for just a second, surely I can finish this part. And I already cut off my pieces for the ties, so I'm safe to just use this skein and have what I need. Look at that, we did it. Okay, so I'm all together here. Now I need to tie this off. I did this once and did not tie it off. It was a pain. So we have to tie this off in the middle to hold this thing together. It's how it's gonna work. So I'm gonna tie this off the top. Just like that. And then we're gonna cut the rest of it off. I'm gonna go the opposite side where I put my tie, because that's gonna be the top of my head of my octopus. So we don't need that anymore. Yay, I did it this time. Just like that. And we'll make the ends even here shortly. So then I just take my stuffing for my head. Again, I used paper towels, and I put this on top. Guess what? I need one more piece of yarn to tie around the neck. So I need 8 for the legs and 1 to tie off and get off of our loom that we use, our cardboard loom, to make these, and then 1 for the neck. So I'm holding on tight. So that's 10 extra pieces of yarn, which I have another one off camera. But so then you just hold it tight and tie a knot. So if you cannot hold it tight to tie a knot, you could always put a rubber band around it. So if I can just get it once and put my finger down there to hold it, then I can make a knot. Ta-da! We did it. And then, see how you still see the paper towel? You just move it. And I think he needs to have a little rounder head. I'm going to smush it around. I guess you could use a styrofoam ball in the middle of that for his head. That would make it like perfectly round, but I didn't have one to use. I thought paper towels was a good idea. This is going to be so cute. Look. Now, again, this is 12 inches of yarn. So then you just flatten him out, set him on a table, and make 8 equal arms. And you braid. We know how to braid, right? So I am going to cut this like in half. I'm not even sure you can see my table, but I'll tell you. Cut this in half, so I have half the yarn on one side and half on the other, and then I'm going to divide it into 4. And then you just start braiding. So I'm going to divide this loosely into 4. I think I'll divide it into 2, then into 2. I'm going to twist this so I don't get it mixed up. And I'm going to start braiding. So you divide that part into 3 and just braid, right? Right over left, left over right. So it wiggles a little bit. If you want to, you can prop something on it, like put a book or something to hold it still. So I'm going to show you how this works. I'm just going all the way down to the end, grabbing one of the 8 pieces of yarn that I had for my ties. And you can either tie a bow or you can tie a knot. I'd suggest you tie a knot first, and then you can make a bow out of it. Just like that. So I'm going to tie a knot, and then I'm going to tie a bow. At the end. Cute. So let me make another braid here real quick. I don't want to pick up my whole octopus. At the moment, because I don't want to lose my divided sections. But let me braid another one. So it wiggles around a little bit, but it's not like annoying where I can't braid. So the tighter you braid, the stiffer your legs are going to be. And every time I braid, I get one section that's shorter than the other. I don't know why. That's how it works for me. So I usually put the longer, if I have 2 that are longer and then 1 short, you can do it either way you want to. You can put the shortest one in the middle and kind of hide it with the other 2. Or you can put it on the end. And then just tie a knot. And I'm going to make my edges, clean up my edges at the end so they all match. Just like that. Let's do a couple more. I might have enough time to do all of them. I'm not sure. I don't want to hold you guys up. I already have finished octopus. So let's divide this into 3. But see how this isn't taking much time at all. It didn't take hardly any yarn. And I think this was a great size of thickness for the whole octopus. I'd love to hear your stories about yarn dolls or yarn animals when you were a kid. Or did you make any of them for your grandkids or nieces, nephews, any kid in your family? I don't know. It's just, I think it's a sweet tradition that I taught my girls how to do and told them the story of my mama teaching me how to do. So it's sweet. All right. Let me do this one more. So I got half of my octopus done, and I'll show you. Maybe you can see a little better. I'm absolutely loving the variegated yarn. This is too cute. I'm already trying to figure out where I'm going to put this little guy. That's one fun thing about doing all these crafts with you all is I get all kinds of fun homemade crafts at my house. It's like win, win, win. I can't think of one bad thing about doing this. It's just so much fun. Alrighty. Tie this one on here. And it works out fine for me to just lay it down. I get the yarn where I want it to tie the leg off. And then I just lay it down for a second and it's not unraveling or anything for me. But however you guys want to do yours. And now we are halfway done. Look at them. See, isn't that cute? Now this is the same kind of yarn. But this one, look how this leg is sticking up. It's got some stiffness to it because I tied these as tight as I could. And I made these looser so you could see a difference. Let me see if I can get this out of my way. See? It's looser. I'm going to trim up the bottom when I get all 8 legs done. Super cute. Whoops, didn't have his eyes going the same way. So it's the same kind of yarn. I mean, it feels the same. I think it's the same weight. Just I decided to tie this looser in a braid. So that's what the difference is going to be. And if you notice, the legs on the green one are just tied. So that's what it's going to look, the difference is. You know, if you have other yarn, like red would kind of pop on this. If I had red yarn, I could tie the bows in red instead of out of the same color yarn, because you can't see much of a difference between me putting bows or me just tying knots in this one. I kind of think this is a girl and this is a boy. So I might put a little bow on top after I get her eyes set up and figure out which way's front and which way's back. And, you know, you could always, I could tie red bows around the legs if I have some red yarn, which I do. And I could tie a red bow on the top of her head. Wouldn't that be the cutest thing? So you can do all kinds of things. You can accessorize them. Just think out of the box, and you can do all kinds of stuff. And that's it. That's how you make a yarn octopus. It's so easy, lots of fun, reminds me of the good old days. And I hope you enjoyed it as well. So go get yourself some yarn. Go look in your closet, because that's probably where it is. And I hope you had a good time. We'll see you next time. Bye.